You can create a quiz in myMCPS Classroom, and depending on what kind of questions you choose, it'll self-grade or you'll have to revisit them and grade the responses later. So I'm going to go ahead and make a fresh quiz and show you what the options are. So you give your quiz a name here. Quiz. You can give some overall instructions. Okay, and you can attach and format this however you want. Then you want to go into the questions. So the questions, you can group them if you want. You can look for questions. If you've written like a huge bank of questions and you just want to find them, you can do that. Or if you've never done this before, you can write a new question. So here is the title. If you want to give it a title, you can. And you have some options. You have multiple choice. If you do that, your question goes here. Your answer goes here. So let me make one of these. This is multiple choice question. Can't spell. Okay. My correct answer gets marked with this little green arrow. So right answer. What you can do is you can have it provide some kind of response if they give you the right answer. So if you want to, good job, that is correct. And then you can give some other possible answers that are not correct. It's the wrong answer. And you can, here in these red boxes, explain what's wrong with it. Or give a hint as to what the right answer should be, or tell them what the right answer should be if you want to. But in any event, this little message won't pop up till after they've answered the question. So that is a multiple choice question. And I'm going to just say done and done. So this is finished up. Okay, and you can change the total points to whatever you like. If you have a multiple choice question, that will score itself, obviously because it's easy for it to figure out if the kid clicked on the right answer. Okay. If you want even more answers than this, you can add additional ones. These are neutral comments, just in general about the topic. If you want some neutral comment to appear, whether they got it right or wrong, you can do that. What other kind of questions do we have? Well, a ton. So yes, true and false. Fill in the blank. Fill in multiple blanks. I will warn you with these two. I've tried them out with kids. And I tried to think of every possible permutation of the answer that students would type, and they still came up with stuff I didn't think of, because what they type has to match pretty much exactly with what you've got as the right answer. And you can list a whole bunch of variants of that, and they can still go outside of that. So if you use these types, go ahead and do it, but be ready to go back and just manually review to make sure somebody didn't just misspell something. Okay. You can have multiple drop-down menus where they have to toggle and choose a bunch of things. So you could be like, here is a question, fill in, and then here you literally put the thing that you want them to fill in, like thing 1 and thing 2. And then down here, you choose that and you specify what the correct thing on this list is going to be and what the wrong things are. And then here you choose the second thing, and they're going to put the right stuff and the wrong stuff, so you can have some basically like multiple drop downs. That's real similar to the one that was marked as multiple blanks, same kind of idea. You can make a matching where they have to drag stuff to match each other. Numerical answer just ensures that it's a number that they're typing in. Formula question, I haven't done anything with that, so I can't speak to it. Essay question gives them a big place where they can type. Obviously, that can't grade itself. This can let them upload an external file, and this is just a space for them to type. Okay. Once you do this, once you set your questions, you can, let's see here, back in details, you can choose what kind of quiz this is. So if it's for grade, you can leave it as a graded quiz. If you want, you can make it a practice quiz. It'll show them their score, but it won't get counted and synced with your grade book. You can make it a survey. I'm pretty sure that this won't grade it for accuracy if you do that. You can set a time limit on how long the kids have to complete it. Let me tell you that if your computers take different amounts of times to log in and you don't all have everybody logged in before you start it, they freak out, so get ready for that. For example, I've used this for warm-ups and just try to encourage them to go quickly. I gave it a time limit, and the ones who got to class right at the time cutoff always freaked out. Even if this was 10 minutes long, they would freak out. It's a psychological thing. It's a good idea to shuffle the answers. That way, if they look at their neighbor's screen, they're looking at a different thing. You can decide you want to let them try it multiple times so they can go back and try to get it right the second time. And then you can decide, do you want to let them see their quiz responses? Do you want to let them see the right answers? You don't have to. You can set a time when the right answers show, or a time when the right answers are hidden. Okay. You can show one question at a time. You can force them to type in a code that you're verbally going to give them to get to the quiz. So if you don't actually time this out perfectly from section to section, perhaps you don't want a kid to get into it before they come to class, you can lock it like that. You can, again, set multiple different due dates. You can get really, really specific here and just be like, on this day I want it open from 10 till 10:10 for one period, and then from 11 to 11:10 for a different period. And that way, kids who aren't in that classroom at that moment can't get into the quiz and access it. Then again, here, if I save, it's a draft. If I save and publish, it becomes accessible to my students.